and be like, Asia, I'm homeless, can I move in with you? Because you told me $200 was gonna be enough. And Mary Had a Little Lamb. You seen the time of the video, your girl is back again with another girl chat. If you to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even gotta say nothing because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on way. That's on period. And Mary Had a Little Lamb. As y'all can see by the title, today I'm gonna be telling y'all my experience on moving to a new state. If y'all new here, I recently moved from Florida to Houston, Texas, and a lot of y'all was DMing me asking me if I can give my experience on my whole moving process and how much it costs and what's good areas to move and just tips and stuff on moving to a new state. And you know your girl was gonna deliver for y'all. But before we get into this video, go ahead and get comfortable. I got me some sangria right here. I was feeling a little bougie today, so y'all, I just put a little fruit in it, and I'm snacking on some chips. But I do want to give a little disclaimer before we get into this video, because I watched other people's videos before I moved, and I seen a lot of people commenting saying like, oh, it only cost me $100 or $200 to move to another state. So baby, this is just my experience. None of the things in this video I'm telling you to do. I'm just letting y'all know what I personally did. If you want to move to another state with only $200, baby, that's you. Be homeless, that's you. But this is me. I'm just letting y'all know my personal experience and how I did it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this video. And I also do want to mention, if y'all see me looking down, that's just simply because I took notes. I wanted to make sure I didn't leave anything out for y'all. So the first question I got asked most frequent was, how much did you save? And honestly, you have to ask yourself, how do you want to live? Do you want to live comfortable, or you don't mind struggling? Like, do you mind sleeping on an air mattress for 3 to 5 months? Do you mind living paycheck to paycheck, or do you want to live comfortable? Like, do you already want to have a job saved up? Do you already want to have your apartment furnished? Do you want to have a car? Like, you kind of have to ask yourself how you want to live. And I knew personally I wanted to be comfortable. I wanted to stay somewhere comfortable, and I wanted it to be affordable. So my budget for moving, because this is my first time having my own apartment. Previously, I always had roommates, or I lived with my significant other. So I never really paid big girl rent by myself. So I knew that my budget was going to be $1,000. And there's a lot of affordable apartments in Texas for $1,000. I know a lot of people say, oh, if you're staying in an apartment for $1,000, it may not be in the best area, or you may just have like issues with the environment. And y'all, that's technically not the case here. There was hundreds of apartments that I found in Houston, Texas for affordable prices that were nice. They had stainless steel appliances, wooden floors, and in nice areas. So that's one of the big reasons why I decided to move to Texas, because one is similar to Florida out of the other choices I had. If y'all interested, I was planning on moving to either Miami, Atlanta, or somewhere on the West Coast, and Houston, Texas was the most affordable, so that's the one I went with. And I knew that I wanted to stay somewhere that I can afford, but I also wanted to be comfortable. Like, my biggest issue moving here was comfortability versus affordability. Like, a lot of places I did find that was like $600 and $700 and $800. Those places weren't in the best areas. I was reading reviews, and reviews were saying that they had rodent issues, flooding issues, shootout issues. People was breaking into cars. I even seen a video of somebody saying, you're not a real custodian unless your car has been broken into. Like, I seen all types of stuff, and I'm just like, baby, I'd rather pay the extra $300-400 so I can be comfortable rather than staying in an apartment that's like $600-700. Like, it's something that I can afford, but I wouldn't be comfortable with it. So you have to decide what's more important to you, your comfortability or affordability. The average apartment here is between I would say $900 to $1,500. You can get a nice apartment, and my budget was $1,100. I didn't want an apartment over that, and I also want an apartment that was nice. I wanted a luxury apartment, and it was easy to find that here in Texas. If you're looking for something that's a little under the $1,000 range, you're gonna have to go without maybe some of the amenities you may want or some of the appliances you may want. I ended up finding my apartments on apartment.com, and it wasn't really hard finding an apartment that was in my price range, because like I said, Texas is very affordable. The issue was comfortability. Like a lot of apartment complexes I've seen that they would have car break-ins all the time. People would write on reviews that they had roaches and all of this other stuff. And granted, y'all, you're not gonna get a perfect apartment. There's always gonna be something, so you have to kind of just pick your poise. And y'all have to also remember that most people that write reviews, they're writing a review because they're not happy. How many times do you go to a restaurant and the service is amazing, the food is good, but you never leave a review? But it's that one time you have a bad experience is when you leave a review. So that's kind of how I pick my poise. Like my apartment that I'm currently staying in, the rating wasn't all the best. The rating was like a 3.5, but I knew what I couldn't deal with. Like bugs, I couldn't deal with. Like an apartment complex that they had roaches in it, it's a no for me. Like you can have the apartment. So if the apartment said it had flooding, I can't deal with mold. So you kind of just have to pick and choose your battles, because I promise you, y'all, there's no perfect apartment. A couple that I can think of offhand is Humble, Texas, Kingwood, Cypress, Katy. Oh y'all, it's getting a little hot in here. I don't know if it's the wine or it's really hot in here, but I don't think I answered y'all question. So the first question I got was, how much did I save? And like I said, I wanted to be comfortable, y'all, so I had well over $10,000 saved up. No, you do not need this much money saved up, but I just wanted to be well prepared, just simply because I don't have nobody I can depend on. If you know you don't have nobody that you can call and be like, hey, I'm short on rent this month, or I don't know, if you know that you don't have no one that you can depend on and call them and say, can you borrow $1,000 to pay your rent this month, then you need to make sure you're well equipped and you're well prepared. So that's why I had well over $10,000 saved up. Also, I wanted to furnish my apartment. To furnish my apartment, it costs between $5,000 to $6,000. I didn't want to come here and I didn't really want my apartment to feel like it wasn't a home. I didn't want to come and be sleeping on a blow-up mattress for weeks or months. So I decided to furnish my apartment. It took me about, how long did it take me? It took me about 2 weeks to furnish my apartment, and that's just me. That's not normal. I feel like when most people move to a new state, they do not furnish their entire apartment within 2 weeks. But I wanted to be comfortable, and I wanted my apartment to feel like a home. And as y'all can see, I kind of made a mistake doing that, y'all, because I was so in a rush just to get everything that now, if y'all don't notice, I'm currently sleeping on the floor. I'm currently sleeping on a mattress, y'all, and that is a-okay. And it's not because I can't afford to get my bed off the floor. It's just simply because I don't know what I want. Like when I first moved here, I just ordered the quickest thing just because I wanted to have somewhere to sleep. And I ordered a lot of things that I didn't personally like, and later I ended up sending them back. And now I'm in the process of getting furniture and things that I like, but I was like just so in a rush just to have something. It's a lot of people out there willing to help you find an apartment. I believe it's called Apartment Finders. There was people reaching out to me on Facebook. I would say join the Houston Facebook group and just honestly just type a message in there once you get approved and just say, can somebody help me find an apartment? And I promise you 20, probably, yeah, honestly, well over 30 people will DM you and message you and ask you, what are you looking for? I think it's called Apartment Finders, but again, I am gonna have everything listed down below. So there were so many people just willing to reach out to me and help me because they get commission based on what apartment I choose. So all you have to do is tell these individuals what area you would like to stay in, how much you would like to pay for rent, what you're looking for in an apartment based as your appliances, amenities you would like, if you would like to live within so many miles of a school or a hospital. You give them all this information, and I guarantee you, I'm pretty sure I worked with like 5 apartment finders, and literally I told them what I want, and within like 24 hours they got back to me and they sent me like a list of different apartments that was in my budget and within my liking. But I just happened to find my apartment on apartments.com. I definitely would recommend apartment.com. And y'all, another thing with apartments, you don't have to have the best of the best credit. I know a lot of people think you have to have an 800 credit score or a guarantor, or you have to have hundreds of dollars for a deposit, which a lot of apartments do have first and last month rent requirements, but a lot of them don't. Like personally, my apartment, they only require 1 month of proof of income. Of course, you have to pay first month rent, and they required a deposit, but the deposit is based on your credit. So if you have poor credit, you might have to pay a bigger deposit. If you have okay credit, your deposit might be like $400 to $500, and if you have good credit, they may not even require you to pay a deposit at all. So for me to move into my apartment, I did not have to pay I didn't have to pay a deposit. I did have to pay my first month's rent, which was prorated, and I only had to give 1 month of proof of income, which I was shook because I'm just like, y'all sure like y'all only need 1 month? Like, that sounded a little sketchy to me. But no, y'all, a lot of apartments only required you to have 1 month, which I thought like that was just the craziest thing to me, because I've moved in apartments in the past and they would say they need like 6 months of rent, they need you to have a 700 credit score, and they need like first and last month's rent. But in Texas, it was a lot of apartments that didn't require that. So if you are on a strict budget of just $5,000, I promise you, you probably could do it with less. I'm pretty sure you can move to another state with $3,000, just depending on the apartments in your area. So what's another thing y'all had on here? We went over credit, deposits, proof of income. Most of the apartments do require you to make at least 3 to 4 times the rent. And if you don't make that, a lot of them accept a guarantor. So if you have a parent or just somebody that's trustworthy, you can ask them to be a guarantor for your apartment. And a lot of apartments have move-in specials, so make sure you try to move in around the time where people are moving out. So usually in the summer, that's a great time to move, because a lot of people lease start ending at the end of the year. That's a great time to move. I actually moved here in October, and they had a move-in special for $200 off my rent. So make sure y'all look into move-in specials. Just type into Google move-in specials in the city that you want to live in, and I'm pretty sure they gonna have something for you, girl. What else? Oh, your car. So like I said, y'all, I wanted to have my apartment furnished within, honestly, I didn't want to wait for more than a month to have my apartment furnished. So I had already ordered all my stuff before I even left Florida, and I had to get a U-Haul to bring my stuff here. But that is not required. Most people do not furnish an apartment within 2 weeks. That's not normal. So I would say your moving costs probably would be cheaper than mine, because it's not required for you to have a couch and a bed and rugs. All of that stuff is extra. Like, you can go without. And sometimes by doing stuff so early, you can end up, you know, making a mistake, because now I'm sleeping on the floor because I wasn't happy with the stuff that I ordered. So just don't do too much, y'all. What else? So with my car, I attached my car to a U-Haul, so it only cost me $100 to transport my car from Florida to Houston, and then my U-Haul cost me about, I would say they give you a little over 1,000 miles. Of course, if you go over that, they charge you by the mile, but it cost me about $1,000 to transport a U-Haul from Florida to Texas. And also, you know, I had to get insurance, so I probably paid like an extra $100 just for insurance, just in case anything happened. And I do know a lot of people ship their car, which it is cheaper to ship your car, but I just heard all types of horror stories of people saying that they got their car shipped, and the day that they arrived to their new city, their car wasn't ready or their car was damaged. And I didn't really want to deal with that, y'all. So I was willing to pay the extra $200-300 to drag my car on a U-Haul rather than getting my car shipped with complete strangers, and I didn't know how they was gonna handle my car. What else did we go over? Another thing I would say, you want to make sure you have an extra $500 to $1,000 outside of your $5,000, just simply because things add up, y'all. Like toiletries, soap, tissue, like all of that stuff just adds up. You don't think about it, but I probably spent like an extra $500 just on house essentials. Like, I needed to go grocery shopping. I spent like $200 when I first moved in my apartment on just groceries alone. I needed hangers. I just needed cleaning supplies. All of that stuff adds up, so you want to make sure you account for that in your moving process. What is something else y'all asking me? So y'all, we went over how much money I saved. I told y'all I had well over $10,000. Again, I think $5,000 is ideal, because y'all have to think, I wanted to be comfortable. I wanted furniture in my apartment. Also, I did not have a job lined up because my job fell through, but Texas is a great city for people that is looking for a job, y'all. They're literally always hiring. I walk in and out of retail stores daily, and there's not a store that I go into where they're not hiring. And when you first move somewhere, be okay with getting a entry-level job. You don't have to have a job that's starting off at I was about to say $20,000 a year. I mean, you don't have to have a job that starts off at $20 an hour. Be okay to accept anything. Like, even if McDonald's is hiring and you know you don't got no job, be okay with just working at McDonald's or a retail store until you get your stuff together. Like, don't ever feel like you too good to work retail just because you have a degree, or just because you just feel like you're beyond that. I was willing to do anything when I first moved here because I didn't have a job. Like, just be okay with that, y'all. And if it takes you a little longer to find a job, don't worry, it will come in due time. What else did y'all ask me? Try to move in when they have move-in specials. Don't stress credit, first month rent, or proof of income, because there's a lot of apartments that require the bare minimum, and that does not mean that you're gonna be staying in the slums or ghetto. I will list my apartment tour down below. My apartment is nice, and I consider it to be luxury. I have wooden floors, I have stainless steel appliances, and I have a lot of amenities, y'all. In my apartment only require 1 month of rent. So don't be scared to type in requirement 1 month of rent on Google and just see what pops up. Also, if you're planning on moving to Houston, I do have a list of other apartments that I was looking into, but I just end up getting approved for this apartment first, so that's why I did not stay there. If you're interested in that, please DM me on Instagram and I'll send that to y'all. What else? What else, y'all? What else? I think that's pretty much it. But y'all, just to end this video off, I just want to give y'all some motivational words and words that help me kind of like push me to move. Like, I was working at my 9-to-5 back in Florida, and I was just so unhappy, y'all. And every day I would read these quotes, and it really changed the way I thought, and it really made like my dream into a reality. So the first quote I have here is, "It always seems impossible until it's done." And y'all, that's what anything new, or just moving away from family and friends in a new environment, it sounds so scary, and it sounds like I can't do this. But I promise you, y'all, if I can do it, you can. So in the moment and you just thinking about it, it sounds like you can't do it, and you may feel like, oh, you have to have all this money. But I promise you, you do not have to have all of this money. Even if you don't have $5,000 and you just really want to move, that's okay, girl. It's okay. You could probably move with $3,000. I have seen other people say they move with only $200, and I'm not telling you to do that. I don't want y'all to come back to this video and be like, Asia, I'm homeless, can I move in with you because you told me $200 was gonna be enough. I did not recommend that, but anything is possible. So don't get discouraged if you're not at that $5,000 mark. The next quote I have here is, "Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase." And y'all, this quote right here, this quote helped me so much during my moving process, because it's just like, you don't know what's going to happen because you can't see the future. And it's okay to be scared, and it's okay to think like, what if things go wrong? But y'all, just think, what if everything goes right? Like, instead of thinking of the negative, just think like, what if it all works out? Like, what if I move to a new state, I make new friends, I start over, and I'm happy? Like, just what if that happens? So just that what if should be enough to push you to move where you want to move and change your environment. Next one I have on here is, "The future depends on what you do today." And y'all, that's literally fact. So you have to make it your reality. You can't just say, oh, I want to move, but I don't have this and that and that. And all I hear when people give me the butts is excuses. Oh, but this, but girl, start making steps, start making moves. And a lot of times when I was researching videos before I moved, I've seen a lot of people videos and they were using the Lord. They was like, oh, the Lord is gonna provide, the Lord is gonna do this, the Lord knows what's gonna happen. And it's just like, girl, what do you know? What are you going to do? Like, you have to put some force behind it. You can't put everything on God. God gonna need help. God can only take you but so far. You have to put actions behind it. You can't just be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, God, I'm just gonna pray. No, baby, prayer can only take you so far. You have to have actions, and you have to be driven. So when I was in my moving process, the first thing I actually had to do before I moved was change my mindset. I was a I want to be person, and so I'm like, why what's stopping me? Like, what am I doing? And the only thing that was stopping me was my mindset. I decided to start taking an hour out of my day and just researching apartments. And at time, it got very discouraging, y'all. It would be days where I was like, yay, I got the money. I'm going to go ahead and apply for an apartment. And then boom, the apartment that I'm about to apply for is gone. Somebody else booked it. And you know how discouraging that can be. But y'all, I did not give up. Every day, I just took baby steps and baby steps and baby steps until I was finally here. It's quite a few quotes now, y'all. Just hold on. So the next one is, let's see. Okay, it says, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Period. And that's exactly how I feel. Y'all may hear me on this video saying, oh, I had well over $10,000, and you may be thinking, oh, I only have $300, so I can't. No, that don't mean you can't move. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Start where you are, use what you have. I watch other people's videos, and they were saying they had 6 figures and they wanted to move, and they was stuck in the same mindset that they couldn't move, and they was saying that they had over $100,000 saved up, and the only thing that really mattered was their mindset. That's all they had to do. When I watched those videos, I didn't get discouraged. I started with what I had, and I used what I had to get to where I am. So sometimes when you on your journey, just focus on what you have to get to where you want to be, if that makes sense. Like, don't look at what somebody else have and say, oh, she said you definitely need $5,000, so I don't got that, I'm at 3, so I can't. No, sis, you could do it with less. It's all in here. The next thing I have on here is, the only guarantee for failure is for you to stop trying. And y'all, this quote right here, it speaks for itself. Like, you can never succeed at anything if you're a quitter. That's basically what it's saying. Forget all the reasons of why it won't work. I can't even talk, y'all. I think the wine getting to me. Forget all the reasons of why it won't work out and believe the one reason of why it will. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's 1,000 things that can happen. You can move to a new state, and then you can end up being homeless because you don't have no family support. It can end up taking you months to find a job. You can end up sleeping on a mattress for 4 months. You can end up being depressed. Your car can break. All these things can happen. You can get in a car accident. Anything can happen. But just think of the reason why things could work out. Just think of, what if it doesn't happen that way? Like, what if I'm happy? Like, just think of that one thing, and that should be enough just to push you to be move to where you want to be. I think I have one more, y'all. Stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start getting excited about what could go right. That's pretty much similar to the next one. And y'all, I would literally read these quotes every single day. If I didn't read it every day, I would read these quotes every other day, and it really helped place me in the mindset of where I'm at today. Forget all the reasons of why. Okay, I had that. Okay, y'all, that was pretty much the last one. I hope this video helped y'all. I hope I covered everything. If it's something that I did not cover, please write it down below. And I know it's a lot of people that also moved to a new state, so please let me know how much y'all saved up, because I don't want to make anybody feel discouraged because they have less than what I have, or they're just not in the mindset to move. So please share y'all stories down below and testimonies on why y'all moved. And I promise you, if I could do it, you could do it. If they could do it, I could do it. We can all do it, y'all. We can all be where we want to be. All we have to do is just change our mindset. I hope this video helped y'all, and if y'all have any additional questions, don't forget to comment them below. And yeah, I'll see y'all in my next girl chat. Peace.